Gospel Keynotes with Will and Neil Johnson, Tyler, Texas, with their final number on that particular Be Faithful. And let me tell you about some of the things that's happening here around us so that we can go into some more stuff. We got all kind of information here for you today, and certainly we want to share it with you. We've got the Moses, Masses, Cunningham, and Wilson family reunion being held on the 15th of this month, 15th and 16th. They're going to be at Camp Lloyd White up in the between Shelby and what is that little town over there? Well, anyway, it's up in Lloyd White's. Now, the headquarters will be here at the Econo Lodge here in Gastonia, with the picnic leaving on Saturday morning, going up for the picnic and the outing there at Lloyd White, and back for the banquet that night at the Econo Lodge. So, more info, contact any member of the family. They'll let you know about it. All right? The Johnsons, the Tates, and the Suggs, they're going to be in their family reunion this Saturday down at Rankin Lake from 11 until 4. And, of course, you have the opportunity of joining this family in their togetherness and enjoying. Okay? Okay. And we've got St. Paul Baptist Church here in Gastonia. They're going to be in their homecoming on next Sunday, which will be August the 9th. And the revival beginning thereafter. And we'll be telling you all about that, too. And you just circle it on your social calendar so that you can govern yourself according. Okay? Okay. Now, this is the first Sunday, and of course, today is the Sunday that they have up at Powers Auditorium in Kings Mountain, big gospel singing there. And they've got several people participating and some groups from in and out of town who are coming in to be a part of it, and they're asking that you come over and witness that. All right? Now, on the fourth Sunday in August at Powers Auditorium is when Strickland will be there at 6 o'clock with his group out of Cleveland County. And you know how Brother Strick carries on, so he's coming down to be a part of it in that particular. Okay, Tabernacle Baptist Church here in Gastonia, they're going to be in the choir's anniversary. That's today, and they got the Castell Singers with them in concert there at the church. That's this afternoon, 6 o'clock, where the Reverend Hinton is pastor. And you are invited to be there. All right, homecoming and revival. It begins today at Trinity AME Zion Church here on Freedom Mill Road. Now, all day long today, they'll be there in services with the Sunday school this morning at 9:45, regular morning worship at 11, and then at 3 this afternoon, they've got who is it? The young man from down at 321, Mount Pleasant on 321. See, we got so many Mount Pleasants around here, you got to be careful as to which one you use. Mount Pleasant 321, that's who will be there. Their church congregation and speaker will be at the 3 o'clock service. Then on tonight at 7, of course, will be the presiding elder of the Lincoln District, the elder Henry L. Hall. He will be there at 7 o'clock tonight. And then Monday through Friday, the Reverend Shaw will be in charge of the services, and he's from Charlotte, North Carolina. So you got yourself a treat. Enjoy it, won't you? I know you will. I was telling you that this gospel singing up at Powers Auditorium with the group from Griffin, Georgia. That's where they're from. Bill Crawford and the Mortoniers, they're going to be on it. And Bill brought me this information by last Sunday. And of course, we're looking forward over at Kings Mountain today. First Sunday, 6 o'clock. Always have one, and today is a big one. And on the fourth Sunday in August, I believe that's the 29th, the 50 states will be represented in a quilt fair. A quilt fair being sponsored by the Mrs. Littlejohn out at the meal site, Linwood Terrace. And of course, she'd like for you to come out and join her there. She's in the hospital too, by the way. But we certainly hope that she's going to be out and well and doing her thing on that particular. And she will. She sure will. She's a tough one, okay? Down at Unity, 6 o'clock on August the 29th. Special program there. Nellie Jackson will be checking on that and telling you more about it as the time gets a little closer to us. Okay? Brotherhood breakfast, none this morning. The last one will be down in York County. That's right. Down at, what is it, St. James? Somewhere down that way. We'll be telling you about that. That's next week. Is it next week or week after next? Brotherhood breakfast. They have to tell me when it is. I don't know when it is. The only thing I know is when they have it, I enjoy it. Because they come right through here and bring me a trough. Not a plate. It's a trough. And I enjoy that. I want you to know. those are some of the things that's casting shadows. We'll be telling you more as they come to us so we can get them. And we want you to govern yourself according. All right? All right. 5 minutes, 6 minutes past 8 o'clock here at WGAS. With studios in South Gastonia, North Carolina, and our studio guests and friends from the archives and all that good stuff, and picking up information on textile and the workers in the area, trying to get it compiled to where they can do a film from the standpoint of exactly what was. You know, it's a lot of things that they say. Now, who are they? You know who they are. The power structure. They said, but they didn't say what they were supposed to say. And I couldn't blame them, not at that time, but the time has come when we need to face the situation as it is. So, Mr. Stoney, Mr. George Stoney, he is with New York University?
I teach there now, yes.
Teaches at New York University, up there in the big city, New York. How about it? As my little grandson says, Papa, I just got back from New York. He was there for 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago. And, of course, his father's from there. All right. So, Mr. Stoney, you want to give us a little rundown of what's going on? We always like to pass it along.
Okay.
Just tell us what it's all
We're trying to make a film that is going to fill out the history of the textile business. You know, the history, for the most part, has been told from the point of view of the owners and the builders and the factories and the machinery and all that. And very little has been told about the people who worked in the mills. So our film has to do with the workers in the mills, and particularly what happened in the early 30s. So we're looking for black workers who worked in the mills who can tell us what it was like. It's been hard to find them because, as you know, there weren't many black workers who were allowed to work in the mills then, but some were. And we were out at Bruce Graham's just yesterday morning. He's 85 years old, and he could tell us what it was like to work in the Eagle, where he worked. And we're looking for other people like that who can tell us what happened. We're also interested in knowing those people who might have been connected with a labor organization that was quite prominent in the early 30s when the New Deal came in. The government said you got a right to join a union. A lot of people organized around here, and that's been just only whispered, you see, since then. But we're trying to get that story. So we're looking for anybody who worked in textiles and could tell us what it was like, the way Mr. Bruce Graham did yesterday.
Or who worked in the village, like so many of the women did in the homes.
That's right, Judy. When the black women couldn't get jobs in the mills, a lot of white families who worked in the mills hired them to look after their babies, to do their laundry, and all of that. So we want that story as well, because that's just as much a part of textile history as people who worked in the mills.
Well, I know there's plenty of them that did that, because I know some who did.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, for 50 cents a day, that's what they did.
Yeah.
They took care of the children. You know, I was with the Noon Optimist Club and had the experience with one of the very fine people here discussing children. And the topic was anybody's child. And I'll never forget that it's something to have an experience. And nothing takes the place of an experience. And once you've experienced a thing, you don't forget that thing. Now, you read it in the book, or you see it on television, or you listen to it on radio. It's different as to when you really face it yourself. And I can kind of relate to how my mother washed, and I don't know how much money she got, but I don't think it was much money in it, because what we got a ham bone to bring home to make some soup, and we got maybe the trimmings off of the something else, and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. It was good living in those days, but she didn't read or write too much. She was a third grade student. My dad was a third grade student. Neither one done much reading or writing, but they could do a little, and they got along. And of course, they taught JL and Ruth. They made sure that when JL and Ruth came home from school, they took their clothes off and went in that room and sit down at that big table and studied their lessons. That's what they made JL and Ruth do.
And what happened to them?
Those was white kids up on the hill.
Yeah. I see.
Living on the same farm now.
I see.
But you know, I look at JL and Ruth as to what happened to them in their lifetime, and the 6 of us as to what happened to us in our lifetime. And it's something to look at and experience these particular things. But the kids nowadays is they don't get that. There's no more black people in the home to make those kids come in, the white kids, when they come in, get in there and study your lessons. So, and the parents don't have time. They got them a credit card and a car, so they ride up and down Franklin Boulevard. Oh, I tell you, it's something. But it's an experience.
Yeah.
And you know, nothing wrong with it, so to speak, but it needs to be channeled. That's it. It needs to be channeled. And those folk who have had these experiences and know what it's all about, come on, let's get together. Let's support Brother George Stormy in his efforts to compile this and pass it along to our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. And certainly I'm going to do everything I can to get all I can to pass along to my great-grandchildren now, since I've got 7. And, of course, I'm not an old man. I just started early. Yeah, but they're beautiful kids, and they're brilliant kids. And certainly we want to expose to them the best we can. You know, I've got a little thing here that I do every once in a while called I've been blessed to be a blessing to someone else. And I listened to a minister this past week in a revival service who said that you are not saved just to be saved. You are saved for one specific reason, to help save somebody else. So, what do? All we have in this life is each other. Isn't that right, Shook? Been telling them that for many, many years. And of course, it's still true. You can't change the fact. So let's do whatever we can to help each other, to make things better. Okay? It's a beautiful world. And everything we need is right there. The good Lord says, I'll supply all of your needs. But you know what? He's so good to me, he takes care of a whole lot of my wants too. So I'm dealing good. Here's something for you. Listen to it. 14 minutes past 8 o'clock. Yeah, the publisher of the Gazette, his wife, Karen, and I was serving on a committee, and she came up with this little thing for anybody's child. And, oh, man, she got red hot because I guess I was the only one, and I forgot I was the only black one in the crowd anyway. But I just told her, I said, well, the reason why these kids are doing what they're doing because y'all don't have no time to deal with them. My mother took care of your kids, but my mother don't take care of your kids anymore. You got to take care of your own kids. We got jobs too now, it's like you got. And the kids don't get the training. They come home in the afternoon, power structure again. They got money, so they buy the kid a car, give them a credit card, get out of here. Stop aggravating me. And they sit back and drink highballs. But 30, 40 years ago when they came in the afternoon, the old nanny was back in there and says they went into their room to do whatever they want. Nanny got dinner ready. The kids, take them clothes off. You don't wear them clothes back out in the street. Put on these play clothes because I got to wash and iron them, you know. Yeah. Keep them up. And this is what happened. But they've lost that. They've lost it. And it's creating problems for them. At the same time, when they lost that, we lost a lot too. Because our kids in this integrated society are trying to be like their kids. Mm-hmm. And when we tell them, you can't have a car, they can run around there with their mouth shot out. They'll quit school and go to work and buy them a car and get in more trouble because can't support it. I thought it was something when I got a bicycle. The 4 of us boys together. One bicycle. Yeah. But we thought it was something. Yeah. And nowadays, everybody in the house got a car. But time moves on. It moves on. And it's rough, but it's hard to get. It's hard to get us to come forward and pass along what we really know.
Well, what always goes through my mind when I hear stories like yours that were telling me about your mother looking after these white children is what was happening to her own children at the same time.
Well, it's she took care of us, but it kind of goes back what Bill Clinton is saying now. Family, you got to have that circle. You got to have that family, and we got up in the morning. My mother made sure that everybody got up, everybody came to the table, and ate. You said your prayers, and Daddy took off. He didn't get back till late that afternoon, but when we ate before he got there. But when he got there, we still had to come to the table and sit around the table while he eat and discuss what went on that day. And if anybody was out of line, you got yours too before you went to bed that night. So, you know, but all of that's lost now.
Well, now, what happened to your brothers and sisters?
Mother died when I was 12, and I was the older. My youngest brother was 18 months, approximately 18 months. And I could hear my grandmother and mother's sisters talking about who they were going to take. And that was the first time, and I guess this is always was sticking in my mind, the first time I ever heard my dad's voice break as if he was crying. And he says, nobody's going to take anybody. They're mine, and I'm going to keep them. And I'll do the best I can with them. Good morning, Christian Radio. Yes. Good morning. Yeah. Well, look, let me put him on the other line, and you and he just talk much as you want to. Okay? If you want to step right into the office there and pick up this phone, I'll hold it until you get on it, and I'll switch off and get on the other line.
Who's on the phone?
This is Georgia Hinton.
Georgia Hinton.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Are you going to talk to?
Oh, he's going to talk to. I'm going to let him talk to it so he can get the first-hand information. That's exactly what. Georgia, he's going to pick up the other phone over on the other side, and you can talk with him.
Hello, Mr. Hinton.
Okay, I'm breaking away.
Fine, thank you. Oh, good. Oh, great. You want to give me your phone number? Sure. 8645-247. And your name? Hinton. And you're the first black person to work in the Firestone. Oh, you're exactly the kind of person we're looking for. Great, so we'll call you up after 3:30 today. Okay, good, we'll do that. I see. Thank you. Right, bye-bye. Great. That's Georgia Hinton, and she was the first black person to work in Firestone as a machine operator, and she says she'd love to talk with us, and she knows a lot of other people as well. We call her up at after 3:30. Okay, great.
And the Arbitron map.
Okay, what time will that be? 3 o'clock. Got you covered. Oh yeah, now nobody know Albert Jackson, and I just now found out who Albert Jackson was. Yeah, yeah, Jew baby and I go back a long way, man. Yeah, yeah. No. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and make that announcement now, and we'll have it back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Appreciate it, Regine. She's doing pretty good. Yeah, yeah, she's home. She's doing pretty good. Anytime, anytime. Okay? All right.
Pay dirt. Yeah. Mrs. Georgia Hinton,
Right.
who's the first black worker to work in Firestone as a machine operator.
That's about right.
Yeah, and she knows a lot of other people.
That's about right. Good morning, Christian Radio. Yeah. June Floyd's sister. Uh-huh. Okay. Is he available? Well, call June and tell him to call me over here. And he can talk with this gentleman. All right. I'll do it. Sure will. Good morning, Christian Radio. Look here, don't you come in here starting no stuff. I don't want to hear no stuff out of you this morning. Girls, I don't want to hear no stuff out of you. Girls, you ain't right. You... Okay, okay. Doing real well. Real well. Uh-huh. Well, good. Right. Well, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm going to make an announcement on that just in a few minutes. Quick as I get off the phone with you, Friday evening. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, yes, Georgia is, I didn't know exactly what she did up there, but I know she integrated some particular part of the textile mill, I think.
Do you know her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very well. She's a fine girl.
She sounds like
She's a
somebody
very fine
who's
person.
really together.
Very fine person.
Yeah, good.
As a matter of fact, her daughter, her husband died some 30 years ago, and she had a boy and a girl. And the little girl just kind of took me on as her father, and I helped her through school. She's now I believe she's in Michigan, but she finished college and doing real well. Good morning, Christian Radio. Fine, how are you? Hold on 1 minute. Okay, what is it? Okay, now this Reverend Melvin, what was his last name? Okay. All right. These folk working to death with me right now, these announcements. Yeah. I tell them to try to send them into me, and they want to give them to you on the phone. You know, our time is winding down to where we're going to have to join the Dr. Evie Hill of Los Angeles, California for the morning worship here. And, of course, we still have information being taken from the listening audience in regards to your employment or your connection with the textile industry of Gaston County and what information you might have. And thanks to the very fine young lady, Georgia Hinton, who just gave us some real good information. And this is what it's all about. Come forward, give us to us, and we'll be happy to take it. Gotta let you know that I've had several calls in regard to the passing of our good friend and buddy, Brother Albert Jew Baby Jackson. Jew Baby passed on Friday evening, and his funeral service will be held on Tuesday over at Mount Pleasant Investment City at 3 o'clock. Now, the quiet hour will be observed on Monday evening from 7 to 7:30 to Mount Calvary Baptist Church here in Gastonia. We'll be giving you more on that as we get into the Costas Funeral Home time. And of course, the Brother Albert Bryce, another one of our very fine friends. We don't have the exact information on him, but we will solicit that before we come back, and we'll have it for you. So stay with us, because we got a whole lot going on. It's now 28 minutes past 8 o'clock, and time to join the Dr. Evie Hill of Los Angeles, California for the morning worship. Good morning, Christian Radio. Hey, how you doing? Yes, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to put you on the other line, Brother Floyd. That's on line 1. This is Brother William Floyd.
Okay.
Hold on, we got a gentleman here want to talk with you. And I'm going to put you on the other line with him, and I'm going to switch over and try to catch this.
Hello? Bob's on the other line. This is George Stoney. I'm the one who's wanted to know about textiles in the early 30s.
Hold on 1 minute. I think he's got on the other line with somebody else.
Maybe we could come over and talk with you.
Yeah, just hold on 1 minute. He got a call on the other line. Just hold on.
Did you work? Where did you work in Firestone? Oh, the box factory. I see. So I guess we got the wrong William Floyd. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry to bother you.
Okay, switch to the other line.
Okay. Hello?
You don't have it yet.
Nope, don't have it. I've got you on line 2 now.
Okay, well, this is line 1. If you don't get it then...
No, line 1 is out.
Still haven't got it. Maybe
Nope.
that phone's not picking it up. Go around in the other office and say, I know it'll get you around there.
Okay.
Well, you can take it right here. Here, Brother Stone. Let's take it right here.
Okay, fine.
Okay, Brother Floyd, here he is. Let's go ahead and sit down there, because I got
Hello?
a break here anyway.
How are you?
I'm going to rest my heels.
Fine, thank you. Well, we're doing this research for a movie about textiles in the early 30s, and people told me that you had some experience back then. 45 years. Could we come over to see you? We could come by either this afternoon or sometime later on next week. Okay. Yeah. Okay, just give me your phone number. 867-5636. You mind if I ask you how old you are? Okay, thank you very much. We'll be in touch with you then. Okay, bye-bye. he's 66, so he's probably not going to have an experience until the late 30s. But we'll give him a call. He couldn't see us today because the revival's starting over there, but he says anytime after that. He's retired, so I've got his number.
Yeah, I don't think he went to work at a very young age in that
Yeah.
mill.
But he will know how things change right after that, which is important to us too. Okay. Don't want to take your paper.
Well,
So it's beginning to roll.
as I say, there's a lot of people got a lot of knowledge out there, but you know, the elderly people just passed off.
I know.
You don't have too many people who is over 60 years old.
Yeah,
It's-
I know.
Can go back to the 30s. That's a long time.
I know.
30.
Yeah.
See, I was just coming on it when I was I was born in 27. So I can remember the President Roosevelt because I remember when Daddy brought us to town to see the train come through. He rode the train. He would go to Warm Springs, Georgia, or
Warm
somewhere.
Springs, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere down there. He would go once a year, and we would come into town. That was just a thrill to come in town and see him wave out the wonder of the train as it went through. And I was just a little tot, but I can remember that quite well. That
You
was-
remember the funeral train?
yeah, sure. I sure do. Yeah, President Roosevelt. He had a thing called a WPA. He initiated that thing, and nobody got any money, but seeming you worked and you went by this place and you got some food. And I remember some of the people in the little area which I lived. They did real well at that thing because they weren't worth a dime anyway, and that came along and it gave them food for the family, and they go out and cut bushes and clean the roads and little things like that. And we just thought that was something.
We were talking to a fellow the other day who joined the union and got fired for 11 months. And he was talking with another fellow who got fired for 6 months. But they had worked on the WPA, and they were laughing about the work they did, grading roads and all of that.
Yeah, well, I can remember them doing
it was a
this
good
thing.
time.
Yeah. It's many
Well,
years ago.
This has been a big help. What
Well-
we'll do is we're going to be going over and just grab some breakfast,
Right. Okay.
and then we'll come back and see if any more calls come in.
Be fine.
Okay.
Be fine.
Good, okay.
Yeah, I just got an hour
Yeah,
break
okay.
here, 8:30,
Could,
9:30.
could we
And-
take you over to?
No, I'm gonna stick around
Okay.
here.
I think. Well, why don't we do that? We'll go have breakfast and then come back and see if the other calls have come in.
Okay. Maybe you can play the Bruce Graham tape again.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
do it. This is your day.
Oh,
Okay.
thank
you.
Treat it
You've
like
been,
you
you've been
want it.
wonderful. Okay.
Well, what do we have other than
Yeah.
each other? Let's enjoy it. It only happens once in a lifetime. Yeah.
Okay.
So come on back when you get
Thank
ready,
you.
and we'll do whatever we can.
Great.
Alright.
Thank you.
All right.
Hamilton.
Scrub. I left there. I went on. Used to work the road, raise the road mule. Done that. I left there and I went to the mill. And I got a job over cotton, running it to the pickle mine. Pickle mine make pickle mine. That was a job was still.
So, at Stowe. And who gave you that job? How'd you get it?
I got job was too hard. Job was too hard. One guy was superintendent.
And were there any other black men in the mill?
Yes. I had a brother work there. He worked there before I did. Jay. And Jim Lane, he worked there. Green Hand. Somebody on the flat worked there when I first started.
Jim Hand, I know Jim Hand.
And then about
I know his daughter. I didn't know Jim.
State Isle come in, they went to Harmore flat people then in the mill. But still, they didn't pay them what they paid white.
Did you ever spin or weave or anything like that?
But in the mill, no. I just opened cotton up. That's cotton up.
Were there any black spinners or weavers or loom fixers back then?
No. I not in the mill where I was.
Did you ever wonder why there wasn't?
I don't know. Do you know? I don't
That's
know.
cute.
Wonder why. Rose, do you wonder why?
I have a pretty good idea.
Well, what?
They wanted to save the jobs for the white
You say it first.
man. Yes, I'm afraid that was right. When
See, that shows you about that brainwashing thing. See,
when you worked in the mills,
it's surprising to know what they would do
what was it like?
once the confidence
Was
is
it
gained.
heavy work? Was it?
Oh, here. I worked my first went there. You didn't play around. I had a hard job. I had to open cotton and then clean it, pick it, and then run it through a machine over to the pickle line. I had a hard job. I put in my 8 hours. Black man worked there.
How did they treat you in the mill?
I tell you the truth, they treat me pretty bad, but they had only thing I had, you couldn't drink out of the fountains, not put a fountain in there. We had to go to the other, had to drink out of the well.
I made a big mistake when I
They
went to
didn't
work for
treat
West
us-
Baco. They had
That's the
one
shit.
fountain here and one here, and they had a C on this one and a W on
Now
this
you
one.
were.
Well, I didn't know it,
What were you making then?
and I drank
You're
out of
making-
this one.
You're making about $11 a
And the
week. something like
supervisor
that?
came by and says, "How about respecting?"
That's it.
Okay, 5 minutes past 10 o'clock, and of course that's some of the information coming from Brother Bruce down at Bruce Graham, down off of Ratchford Road. That's where he lives now, near the Belmont area. And of course he lives on his own little place, and he's enjoying life in his later years. But isn't it wonderful that you can sit around and talk with these elderly people, and they can give you some the history of what has happened that brought us where we are. And this is the only thing we're doing. We're trying to gather information that we can pass along to our children, our grandchildren, and as I sat here can say, my great-grandchildren. Do you know I have 7 of them now? And don't think that I'm that old. We just started out early and did our thing, okay? All right, okay. I'm looking for some great-grandchildren. By the time I'm whatever, I will have. And I plan to be that whatever. We got a brand new recording here coming from a group out of New York City, I believe it is. No, they're from Mississippi. They're from Mississippi. Called the Anointed Pace sisters. 8 girls, 8 sisters, ministers' daughters, and we're gonna see what they got to say. They say they're in the safety zone. I guess they are, 8 of them. So we're gonna let them do whatever they gotta do on this new album. And if you like it, let me know about it, and we'll do more of it. And if you don't, let me know about it, and we'll put it in trash. Is that clear, fair enough? I know it is. Give us a call here and let us know if you can help us out with information on the textile industry, facts as to what has happened to you, with you, and by you during your work relation with various textile operations in Gaston County. The film was being compiled, and we need your input to help us make it complete. Okay? All right. Here we are. I didn't cue that up either, did I? Well, let it take off sometime. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, all right. Okay, good enough, Jeff. We'll be checking with you. Thank you. That was Jeff Roman. You know Jeff Roman out of Belmont?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
I'll be done.
Yeah, he and his wife celebrated their 53rd wedding anniversary yesterday. Yeah, he said that he worked. Jeff Rowe is a very good friend of mine. Jeff Rowe helped me buy the first piece of property that I had.
Is that Roe? How do you spell that last
Jeff,
name?
Jethro, I think it is. Jeff Rowe.
And the last name is?
M-A-N-N.
Now,
Yeah, Jeff Rowe is in his 80s, I expect, but he's in good shape. He was on the road with Charles Corral or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, I bet he got 50 cans.
Yeah.
Very celebrated. It used to be they make you wear them, you know.
Yeah.
So many things that's unnecessary to make life
Yeah.
good and enjoyable.
So I just assumed this was a black radio station. I didn't know it was just.
No, it's not. But
Who owns it?
Glenn Mace. Yes. Yeah, she had her 90th birthday on Saturday with a celebration and a family reunion. Were you the one that was trying to make it home and your car broke down? Okay, I understand that. Right. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. So she late. She was trying to get home from Ohio and her car broke down. And her mother had her 90th birthday Saturday, but the big celebration. Now she's just getting in here. So.
Oh.
Well, what did he say? She wants some recognition. Give it to her.
Sure.
It won't hurt.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I tell you. Life is beautiful.
Well, I was in Atlanta. I used to do radio shows for the Department of Agriculture, the Farm Security Administration, out of Birmingham. And I think I was one of the first to get black farmers on at the time. And it was interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of a lot of good times to be
Mhm.
had, especially when you can reflect back on some of the things that you ran into. And yet there's some real bad times that you can't understand how people did it or why they did it, this kind of thing. I guess I was about maybe the first black clerk they had downtown in Gastonia ringing cash registers, because there was a fellow came in one day and told Mr. McClooney, says, Dick, I wouldn't let that nigga ring my cash register. He says, well, why? He said, 'cause they'll steal.
Yeah.
And Dick was a German. He was about 6'6", a great big guy. He says, Fred, I'll steal too if you don't pay me. God, I'll never forget that. I just went on in the back. Because you never know what's going to happen. You kind of get away from that kind of stuff. Says, Fred, I'll steal too if you don't pay me. I didn't have any trouble. But Mr. Fred was I guess you call a foreman or a supervisor with a construction company, Penix, big company, and they were building little cities like the Four Seasons Mall in Greensboro, or the Dix Village Shopping Center. They built those whole things, and he was one of the top boys, and he drank a lot of beer, and he's kind of freckled, and he get just right red when he started drinking, and being in the sun too. And he came in there, when he came in and said that, I started making it towards the back.
You didn't know what was going to happen.
No, well, you just don't get around that stuff. You stay out of the way.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll never forget, as I got in the back, Mr. McClure says, Fred, I will too if you don't pay me. God knows. Okay, there you have the Pace Sisters doing a couple of numbers for you, and it's 17 minutes past 10 o'clock, and of course that's Duran Jewelers time, downtown Gastonia. Duran's, wherein they take care of your watch repair, your clock repair, your jewelry, whatever nature you might be interested in, they will take care. That's Duran's for you, downtown Gastonia, right here in the pacemakers of the Piedmont, or should I call it good old Gastonia, North Carolina. Okay, whatever. We still have Brother Stoney here with us, and he's still picking up information on the textile industry, to pass it along, to do whatever he can with it in this big film, to pass to our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and whoever else that might have an interest in it, and I'm certainly sure everybody does. So why don't you give us a call if you have some information, so that we might make contact with you and take care of it. Jeff Roman, we had a call from Jeff Roman over in Belmont, North Carolina. He and Betty, they're celebrating their 53rd wedding anniversary. 53 years of matrimony. Is that what you call it? Or some folk call it marriage, or some folk call it tying the knot. Well, anyway, whatever it is, they've been together 53 years, and they're still together, and they're still doing the same thing they were doing the first year they got married. How about that? I slipped that in under my breath. Okay? All right. If you should see them today, be sure to congratulate them on this. And, of course, if by chance you don't, give them a call. Let them know that you are interested in their welfare, because 53 years is a long time to do anything. Okay? All right. Jeff Roman over in Belmont, my good friend, the young man that took care of me and instigated my getting the first piece of property that I ever owned, a 200 by 200 lot. That he got me $200 to buy it. Isn't that something? And I kept it about 10 years and sold it for $2,000. Okay, Jeff, I didn't tell you that, did I? You didn't get your commission. Well, anyway, that's what happened. That's the reason why I got the crib I got later on, okay? All right, thank you very much. I owe it to you, and I appreciate it. And I go public on that and don't mind letting folk know that that's another one of those things. You've been blessed to be a blessing to somebody. He was blessed, and he blessed me, and I'm going to bless somebody too. So what should I say? This particular, breathe on me. Just let the breath of the Lord breathe on me.
a simple question.
No, that's the one. Aren't you glad, isn't it? Well, that's all right.
Aren't you glad you know the Lord?
Give me these,
The pardon of your sin.
all right. Okay, I shall do that. Okay, Leroy. Right. Good morning, Christian Radio. Yeah. Okay. All right, we shall do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, these folk want these request numbers.
And what Mama was, and what Papa was. And I'm not trying to make you shout, but I'm trying to make you think that if you don't have Christ in your life, it's time to open up and let him come in. Aren't you glad that you know the Lord? Can I get a witness in here tonight? In the bar.
All right, then you're having 25 minutes past the hour, and of course we thought we were playing the other side of that one, Breathe on Me. We're going to flip it over so that we can play it in a small size bit, Breathe on Me. That's the flip side of that particular album, and it's done by the James Cleveland with the Northern and Southern California choirs. Okay, we got to let you know some of the things that's happening around so that you might be able to govern yourself according, and make some dedications too. Mr. William Floyd, we talked with him this morning, and of course he has called and he's going to give us some information on the workforce with Firestone or Low-Ray or whatever you might want to call it, Texel Mill. And of course we appreciate that. Brother Jeff Roman, Betty, they're down in Belmont. They're going to give us some information. And we have Mrs. Odessa Bradley. She is from the nursing home and she's visiting this weekend with her daughter Elizabeth. So Miss Odessa Bradley, we certainly hope that your stay is a pleasant one and you enjoy it. Okay? Mr. Bruce Gordon, down in the Belmont, or Ratchford Road, we put it that way. That's Gastonia, Belmont area. I want you to know the program is being done for you, and thank you for your information and the very fine little tape that you cut for us that we could play back. Graham. What did I say? Bruce Graham? What did I call him?
Gordon.
Bruce Gordon? Bruce Graham. Okay, I tell you, Brother Gordon, Brother Herm Gordon, now you was with Jenkins Metals for about 20-something years, and that's Texas related. You might need to give us a call here if you got your ears on, and you can give us some information too. All right? Manny Crawford, the program we did for you, and of course that special number, What We'll Be Doing in Heaven Today, we did that especially for you. Mrs. Neely over in Dallas, North Carolina, for you and Brother G.G. Gunnan, my good friend. Certainly the program we do for you, and we say again congratulations to the children, especially to Gary, who was home last week from up in Michigan, and of course she has been selected to the school board as chairman of the school board there. And we just appreciate our Gaston County people